Merry Christmas from another government employee. I hope your holiday season has been well and that your family is well and you have a wonderful new year. If you happen to be Jewish and you're a Hanukkah person, well, I hope your Hanukkah season, which is already over by the time I make this video, was joyous and that you remembered those in the past that allowed you to be here. Now, that said, this I wrote several years ago, and it's a Christmas memory of my own. And given that it's the 50 years since this happened, I thought it was appropriate to bring this memory back to life. And I hope you enjoy it. It was an unusually warm Christmas Eve at my Uncle Archie's house. It was 1968, and my family had driven from Savannah to Orlando with a carload of Santa gifts for me. I was 10 then, and had pretty much figured Santa for a ruse, but I wasn't ready to let go of the fantasy yet. You see, it took away from my parents fighting again, and that my dad had just lost his job. There wasn't a partridge in a pear tree for us that year, just ravens and the live oaks along the docks. The launch of Apollo 8 was on the morning we left, so we delayed our start to see it. Our house was 40 miles west of the launch pad, and the schoolyard at the end of our street made viewing launches easy. The cartoons that touted and mocked the inventions of the future were about to come true, and all the scoffing about lunar travel and its possibility will be silenced for all time. We could see the glint of the fantastical machine as it vectored away from the shore. When the dot made 15 degrees over the horizon, the thunder of the Saturn V engines reached us. The ground shook lightly as the sound rolled on for what seemed like forever. For a kid like me, who was into rocketry and science, it was truly the California dream to grow up and be that guy, the guy with the right stuff. Now we were sitting on Christmas Eve, we were sitting in Archie's den at midnight, watching the flickering black and white images from this fantastical place. The sliver of a moon was framed in the small window of the command module. Our fun and games had ceased for the moment. The gifts around the Christmas tree were ignored. All we cared about was Walter Cronkite's narration and Frank Borman's scratchy voice from so far away, reading Genesis. In that moment, it didn't matter that my parents were drunk, and we were likely to stay that way for the next several days. It was a time for imagination and flight, and wondering if God himself could see our feeble attempt to touch his face. Here we are now, 50 years later, and our imaginations seem to be gone. We don't aspire to the heavens anymore, or even really to this earth. We seem bent on our own appetites and our own destruction. Maybe, just maybe, with prayer, we can change. Maybe. Merry Christmas.